Hello, I'm Gareth Hall and welcome to Clippers and Tippers, all thanks to Tyrepower. Maury was so excited that we had Nick Wright in the chair. He's already started the haircut. Hello to you, Nicholas.
Hey, Gareth.
What do you make of his hair, Mike? You reckon you can work? Can you work with it?
I can make it better.
Yes. Popular demand, Nick. Everybody wanted to get you on Clippers and Tippers because I think you're the punter's favourite trainer in a way. When you declare one, they usually win. And you've had a great start to your trading career. How long have you been training for now?
Yeah, it doesn't sound as long or seem as long, but probably the best part of a decade.
A decade?
Yeah, I'd say 10 or 11 years. But yeah, it's a lot of blood, sweat and tears to get where I am today. But yeah, it's gone quick. Time flies when you're working hard.
Because you're a gun rider. You're a leading apprentice. You won a Melbourne Premiership, didn't you, as an apprentice? You finished third in a Melbourne Cup as a 17-year-old. Did you ever think, and then you lost your passion for the game?
Yeah, look, unfortunately, weight got the better of me. But on the flip side, had it not, I certainly wouldn't be sitting here talking to you as a horse trainer. Never really thought about or wanted to be a horse trainer. It was just riding and jockey from day dot. So I think it took its toll on me. Certainly didn't deal with it well, not being able to ride anymore. But yeah, regrouped and here I am now.
So what inspired you to become a horse trainer then, after you lost that passion for the game?
Yeah, look, I think I stepped away from the industry and didn't watch a horse race for the best part of a year and travelled and went into the construction industry and did some concreting and whatnot. And I just didn't have much passion for that. I met some great blokes and drank a lot of beer and etc. But yeah, it was just no incentive for me. The paycheck was the same every week and I didn't love what I was doing. So it wasn't until I got linked back up with my old mate Brett Kavanagh up in Albury, started breaking in horses for himself and Peter Moody and yeah, it just sort of spiralled from there.
Yeah. It's hard to believe you've been training for close to a decade, but you're now set up at Flemington. Have you exceeded your own expectations with the success that you've had?
Definitely at the start. I'm sort of probably not. I think I've got plenty more to do.
Yeah.
But definitely at the start, I started. Look, I've done it the hard way. I think the first two horses I trained, I broke in myself, and I wasn't handed nothing. I started buying $10,000, $15,000 yearlings. My horse that really put me on the map was Muhammad Ayas. He was a $24,000 purchase. I've never had a backer. My stepfather's a bloodstock agent, and he's been the brains and purchased my horses. And look, yeah, we started off buying cheap and slowly upped our budget, and yeah, that's why it's taken time, but yeah, you can see it's come to fruition.
So what's it like trading at Flemington, the home of racing?
Yeah, look, I grew up there. I grew up in Ascot Vale and Moonee Ponds, and my grandfather trained at Flemington for 30 years. So to get back there once Caulfield closed, I was very fortunate, but felt like I was sort of coming home, and I'd done my apprenticeship there with Robert Smurden. Yeah, so, but I'm very privileged to be there, and I thank myself every day, and the VRC have been fantastic to me, and yeah, it's great.
What about that trainer's hut? The late great Mike Moroney, he would have been fun, I reckon, watching horses work with him every morning. But they tell me you have to sit next to Wayne Hawkes.
I do.
You poor bastard. How do you put up with him?
Yeah, when he's there.
Yeah.
When he's there.
Yeah, we did. You remember him? Yeah, he didn't have much hair. Yeah.
I'd like to think I've got a little bit more hair than him.
Yeah, yes. And you're a little better looking than Wayne Hawkes.
No, but you're right. The hut's actually changed a bit. You know, obviously, very sad Mike passing away. We've got Dom Sutton joined, and you know, times are changing. But you know, yeah, it's an interesting hut to. I used to love talking with Mike about pedigrees, and you've got Wayne chiming in from 3 deep, and Simon chiming in from 4 deep. Simon Zara,
and Reggie Fleming, of course, the Godolphin man.
Yeah. So there's a lot of history there.
Who's the best judge in that trainer's hut?
Oh, myself.
Yes. Do you watch Wayne's horses or other horses and think, well, geez, what was that one that worked, or are you too busy?
No, I think I've figured Wayne out. I think when Michael sends them down on a Thursday and they run on a Saturday, when Michael says they win, they win.
Yes. And what about like, so you like your stable loves a punt, it's well known, and you're very good at it. Do you watch other stables, and do you like to watch what other horses are doing from different stables, and you think, geez, that horse worked well, or I might follow that up?
Not in that aspect. I think learn a lot when I started. I was lucky enough to do 12 months with Kieran Ma.
Yeah.
He grabbed a hold of me, and I was training 2 horses at the time, but he subleased 2 boxes to me, and I rode work for him. So picked up a lot off him, just how he trains basically. And being at Caulfield, when I went from Albury to Caulfield, I just went from, the outback country track with not many trainers, and I was able to see what the Moody's and the Mick Prices and the Smurdens and the Sadlers and the Beggs and the likes of Kieran were doing, and it really kicked me along. Like, I can ride a horse and get a horse fit and know when a horse is going well. It's to get it to that point.
Who was the greatest punting trainer you rode for?
Oh, look, it's hard to go past my old boss, Robert.
Yeah.
When
they never missed, did they?
They never missed. He, I rode for him. He was my boss since I was 14. But he's very good. My grandfather was foreman for Tommy Hughes Senior. For 30 plus years. They say he was a bit before my time, but they say there was none better than him.
What about now as a trainer? You like to write a lot of your work. You think that's a big advantage, knowing when they're ready to go?
100%. It's my biggest attribute. I've since the stable's grown a little bit, I'm not able to get on every horse as much, or I've had to cut back a little bit to oversee everything. But definitely my biggest attribute. Not only seeing how they're going, you're jumping on a horse on a Monday. By the time you get off the horse, you know what you're doing with it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday in your head.
A lot of your owners like a punt, and I think that's a big advantage for your stable as well. So what's the favourite Nick Ryan punting story for us?
Oh, there's been a few. I don't mind the odd multi as well.
Yes.
But as far as punting stories, I think there's a couple that you look back now and you think it's very obvious. I had 2 old horses that had come back from Hong Kong, one being Munamek and one being Dice Roll. And they arrived in my stable. One was a 75 Raider and one was a 76 Raider.
Yeah.
They're both gone. Dice Roll ran second in the Rupert Clark, and we all know what Munamek's done. So I got them ready for first up. They were both first up in benchmark 78 races over 1,400 at Caulfield. I think Dice Roll was 12-1.
Yeah.
And I remember vividly what Munamek was. It was about 12s into 6s, I think. Yeah. But and I would try to sort of tell Hutchie how well he was going. And although he certainly was believing me, I just think he wanted to see it first. And, they were really good ones. Like, I knew what I had. And we'd galloped them with the better horses, and I knew I had a potential group horses or group 1 horses going into a benchmark 70.
Who's your favourite jockey to put on these days when you're ready to win? I love it when you're back one and Reece McLeod's on.
Hard to go past. Reece has been with me from the start. As far as when we had little success, he was there. I think he's ridden over 50 winners for me. His strike rate for me is flawless. Although he has cost me a few times, he'll forever be one of my jockeys. But he's good. He does what he's told, and he knows how I trial him. He knows how I train. He's not overqualified, and he hasn't got anyone telling him what to do bar me. So it's very trustworthy.
Who's the best judge of a jockey?
It's a good question.
When they're like, if they're ready to win.
I tend to not use many jockeys track work because I don't have to. Trials, I don't like to put the smart ones on because they feel them too much and don't want to have a feel of it. So you got to be careful. I'm very slick. But look, you can't go past your Melmans and your Zaras. That sometimes they're too smart. But look, that they know what's underneath them. Reece Reese is just I'm comfortable with Reese. Billy Egan's another good one. Yeah, he's been educated well and he's a horseman. Yeah.
So Nick, I forgot to ask you about the Echuca Cup. I remember, who was the horse that won the Echuca Cup?
From your country, not to be missed. That was the first one.
And you backed it off the map.
Yeah, we had.
Someone did. Who?
No, we had the bases loaded that day. I think I had 5 runners. I had 2 in the cup, and then 3 others. And it was probably one of the better days I've ever had on a racetrack, as far as a trainer's concerned. But 4 of them won. I think we had trained. There was a lot of multis and a lot of variables, but there was.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, come the last, or sort of 3 had won. I didn't really expect it. He was a good old horse, but he was at the end of a prep, and I think he'd ran well at Flemington the start before, but you got 3. What hope you getting 4? And he won accordingly. A great ride by Blake McDougall, but we landed some big multis.
Did you tell Blake that the money was on?
Well, I think the reason was...
Take the phone off the hook, Murray. Unbelievable.
I think because all the multis, it was the last leg, all the multis were going in, so that would have been all the money coming for it as well. But I don't think I had to tell him. He knew. No. And he's a cool customer, Blake McDougall. Yeah. He's had a lot of success for him. But it landed, and it was a very fun road trip.
Yes, he's a good boy, Blake McDougall from the Riverina, I think. We've got to find some winners on Clippers and Tippers. Is that your wife, Reed? Yeah. Clippers and Tippers, we need a winner, Nicholas.
Yeah, look, we're heading into the weekend. My best by far would be at Ballarat Sunday. So save some money for Sunday. Don't go off Saturday. Star Rapper, he'll be in a benchmark 64 1200.
That's the bookie ring.
Must be.
Have 1,000 on Star Rapper, Murray. So Star Rapper.
Yeah.
No, I'm only joking, Murray. I'm only joking.
He won his maiden at Wayne the other day by about 6. It's a heavy 8 there. He loves the wet, and he worked very well with a good horse on Tuesday morning.
Not favorite, is it?
It will be when I'm finished at home.
Can you wait till we sort of get on first?
Okay.
Murray Michael Kent Jr. declared one to him last time he was in this chair, and Murray had it started he tipped it at $5. It started at $15, and Murray he said, "Oh, geez, I need to make some more money out of it." So he backed every favourite and had a multi with the tip that Michael Kent Jr. gave him. All the favourites lost. Still complaining, Murray can't win.
I like the way I backed it at 5-1 and then it blew out to 12.
Anyway,
I've never seen that happen before.
Because you know why? Because you backed
the other way.
You backed it.
And it went to 12-1.
Thanks for joining us, mate. It's a bloody pleasure watching you in action. And hopefully you get the chocolates on Sunday. Any other horses we need to keep a close eye on?
We're heading into spring, so High Vol would be top of the list.
High voltage.
Yep, that's it. Hurricane, Red Aces, Miwa. That's my little spring team that are just probably 3 or 4 weeks into their prep and heading towards spring.
Hey, Mo, you've done an exceptional job.
I haven't finished yet, but we're getting there.
What else you got to do?
The edges.
Anyway, thanks for joining us, brother. We appreciate it.
No, thank you, Gareth.
That is Clippers and Tippers, all thanks to Tyrepower. Good on you, Murray.
No problem.
Yeah,
Gamble.
I'm not paying you this week because the phone kept ringing. Gamble responsibly, 1-800-858-858. We'll see you next week.